Hello everybody, this is Simon with Let's Play Sonic 2006. It is time for Flame Core, the worst level, or is it? No, I'm actually going to have to say a lot of positive things about Flame Core this time, because when I recorded it, and I had to record it quite a bunch of times because frankly it's still janky as hell, I discovered that it is actually quite fun with Shadow. Fancy that, it's almost like this is the mission statement of the entire Let's Play. This one is dumb however, because you have to take the middle one. In this case I think Sonic had to take the left one to get the silver medal, and sometimes it doesn't quite work. By the way, you can get this rings if you hold to the right. However, if you hold to the left here, which is what I'm doing right now, basically just to try and see if I can speed it up, you get offset here, and you actually change lanes. Yeah, so yeah, this is the first thing that can break in this level. There's a lot of things that can break in this level, but we're going to see a bunch of those examples. But when it works fairly well, and whoops, you can't fall off here. The good thing really is that this is a combat focused level and Shadow is good at combat. That's basically the whole joke of this. Hey, this time I actually landed on the left one. Isn't this fancy? Alright, so let's get right to it. What's good about this level? Well, I think except for the combat, most of its parts were actually built for Shadow. For example, these ring trails work. It didn't for Sonic, I don't think so. And you have some actually nice options here, like look at this. You can choose to do the wall running part like Sonic did, or you can go up here and do this crazy shortcut, which you can also do if you fall down from the lava. So this is also your safety net, which is a much more sensible and better built area than it is for Sonic in my opinion. So that's nice, isn't it? And then you get a huge shortcut all the way down here. And this is where the combat comes in. Which core? Ah, this guy. Let's just take care of him real quick. And it is much better for Shadow, as I said, especially because at this point in his story, Sonic doesn't have the bounce bracelet yet. And fancy that, there are even kind of good silver medals, especially after the travesty from last time. Like, this one is obtainable without getting hit. I just showed you how you could do that. And now look at this. Now I'm just so good at the game. So this part, yeah, this part sucks. I really don't like this part here. It was bad as Sonic is bad with Shadow. I don't know how I managed to stay on here, but I think I'm just getting kind of proficient at these wall running things, and it's kind of beginning to scare me. But first of all, you don't have to do this because there is a very convenient shortcut, as we're going to see in the S-Rank video. And second of all, Shadow can always just save himself and do this entire part using his super extended homing attack. So that's quite nice. And here they actually give you the KS boost, which is also something which I really could not appreciate when I first played the game because I had no idea how it worked. But now I do, and it's just like, yeah, you just snap from enemy to enemy and just absolutely erase them, as long as they are on camera at the very least. So this was a little bit awkward, so let's have a quick digression here. Another somewhat cleverly hidden silver medal. It doesn't take much to make me satisfied. And we can go on. Now remember, homing attack chains are terrible with the KS snap, but if the last enemy in a row dies like that and there is another target enemy, not Spring, then you can actually use them, so that's good. Another somewhat cleverly hidden silver medal, and another beautiful save by the master of this game, Simon. I mean, just come on, this looks so good. Anyway, let's immediately flub it and try something stupid, which actually worked the first time I recorded this. So yeah, you can snap up here, but I think from the other platform. Anyway, let's just pretend this never happened and do my mastery of the homing attack again so that I don't die. And now we remember now something, what I just said about the snapping. Yeah. If you do not exactly know that it will work because there are a bunch of enemies in a row, which the camera can see, then just tap the button as I'm doing here right now. At the end of the chain, like here, you can again use it to erase the high health enemies. So that's nice. Do you think I should use the footing that falls along the lava and the fiery flow? I don't know. Sounds complicated. But it worked. Anyway. Again using Shadow's extendo attack behind him. So that's nice. But here as well, I don't think that Sonic would have been able to make these homing attacks quite as far. So they do play with Shadow's homing attack distance, like here for example. Again, Sonic would not have been able to save himself. Here I don't know what I was doing. I think I forgot that the enemy is already dead. Anyway, you can even reach this enemy, as we're going to see in the S-Rank video. So overall, this segment just works a little bit better for Shadow, and if you kill all the enemies, you get a silver medal. If you underestimate the hitbox of the fire, you get hit. And it's these subtle differences that make a lot of the segments here a lot more tolerable. Again, this does not excuse that there is still a lot of jank hidden here, because this level is still Flame Core. But once you know what you are doing, and I do, then this is by far the best Flame Core of all the three of them. I don't think that this will change much once I take a look at the hard modes for Silver and Shadow respectively. This is also a part where I was like really frustrated when I first played this game as Shadow. I kept dying in the first part because of the wall running segment, and then there is another wave of enemies, and then there is another wave of enemies, and you can see how this can get tedious really quick. It got tedious like instantly with Silver, because Silver is awful at fighting Iblis enemies. Shadow, however, is very, very good at fighting Iblis enemies and robots, so if you do know how the snap works, then you can do a lot of really fun stuff here and get rid of wave after wave after wave. And if you really know how Shadow works, then you can just glitch through the door, but of course that's yeah, you know. Anyway, here, if you remember, you had to go down with Silver, a little bit awkward with Shadow, but I like that they are presenting you the ring box and then it plops you down here, so it's giving you an incentive to hurl yourself down and basically organically land you on the lower platform. This time it actually worked out the timing with the guy opening his eye. Rarely does, but here again, oh yeah, and 2 hits baby, very nice. So if you're willing to wait for them to open the eye, you can erase them even faster, basically instantly. But it's rarely worth the wait. Just hitting them 4 times is much better. Do I get hit this time? No. Can spoil again, won't even be in the death reels. I'm so sad that the most famous idiotic moment of Flame Core just doesn't happen to me. I just never get hit out of the air. Everybody's like, this is so terrible. This is one of the biggest examples of how bad Sonic 06 is. And just, you know, I don't know, maybe this playthrough is blessed. Knock on wood. I mean, we're almost through at this point, aren't we? Except for all the hard mode stuff and so on. But, you know, I digress. This room, again, you can shortcut a lot, like here for example, but this time you can actually see how they intended for you to do this, so this makes a bit more sense than with Sonic, where it's just like, if you discover this path, then you just skip half of the room. It's great, isn't it? I don't know why these dudes spawn only when you're already past them. I suspect there might have been a trigger a little bit misaligned, but you know, sometimes that happens. No need to defend that. So this is like the part in Sonic's where you have to kill all the enemies in the wall. Fortunately, Shadow doesn't have to do that. I just try this sometimes to try and be styling, but it never works because it's just, wow, hitting these guys all the time, it's just not really easy. And with the snap sometimes not working exactly as intended because they're not on camera after all, forget it. This room is the worst room in the level, because the central gimmick is again barely functional, and most of the time it gets you killed very, very easily. There is going to be a death reel at the end. There's going to be 10 deaths, and like 3 of them are in this room, because Jesus Christ, these things, they get targeted automatically by the homing attack and they screw you up so bad. But the really worst part is here, because hitting this platform with Shadow's homing attack does not work well. I don't know why this doesn't work, whereas some of the other homing attack lengths have been perfectly suited for Shadow. Maybe because this room in particular was not made for him, and rather a silver showcase where you pick up the balls. Maybe. This one's also kind of clever. If you collect all of the rings here, which is a little bit of a challenge considering the speed and acceleration, then you hear a silver medal spawn. And all of these audio cues are really valuable. And here it is, and the hell just happened? Anyway, I'm just falling to the featureless void now until I die. Amazing. But anyway, this is a prime example of how the audio cue actually really, really works in your favor. and helps you to find all of these silver medals that spawn if you fulfill a certain condition. If all of them were clever like that and not just, oh, it's somewhere in the air, then the collecting aspect of this game would be much more fun. For me specifically, because I love collecting, I think also a lot more people would be motivated to do it. And also this is how you do this part properly without getting hit. Great, isn't it? Just works, yeah? Sometimes Shadow's Flamecore just works, where other Hedgehog's Flamecore is an absolute torture piece. Anyway, the Knuckles part, now with Rouge. Is it better? Yeah, of course, you're not playing as Knuckles. She has still the same issue with latching onto the walls, but of course you can always just go up the platform. I know what I'm doing after all at this point. Do some weird jump where she, I think, glitches off a slope, like straight up. It's really strange. And also again, audio cue, wonderful. It's here if you kill all of the enemies, and they are the only purple enemies, so there's your hint. If you kill all of these guys, as we're going to see, nothing much happens, but I'm going to try it anyway because it's fun to erase enemies with her bombs. Isn't it great? I don't know why this guy got hit 3 times. Don't know, just don't know. Anyway, I don't know why the left guy got hit but the right guy didn't, so that's another mystery. But we're not going to solve it today, I feel like. What is happening, however, is if you kill all of these guys, then either this spawns or you have free access to the boxes and it's always there. I don't know. There's a lot more combat here and it's really awkward to hit the flyers, but this part of the level is also kind of well designed, because if you kill the worms, kills all the flyers in the vicinity. Every worm is a leader enemy, so that means every group of flyers can be taken out instantly if you kill the worms. That's nice, I like that. And now for the tactic of taking these lights from the top, of course, but again much easier to hit them than with Knuckles, because you have a ranged attack, B, it's homing, and C, the attack that Knuckles has is not absolutely, the attack in general is not absolutely awful like Knuckles' is. Wow, that was a difficult sentence to get out. Anyway, is this the final one? No, it's not, I forgot one. But fortunately, she can just fly up again, take the same route, and they are on long enough, fortunately, that it doesn't end up mattering. Otherwise, you know, just do the circuit again. It's not that bad, especially now that I killed all the enemies. Will I be able to get off the wall? Yes. Was it fun? No. There it is. He's surprisingly thankful, and he's definitely more polite about it than Sonic is. Fancy that, ah? Nice lad, this Shadow guy. Again, with the 2 guys, works out the timing that one of them just opens up after the other dies. It's very nice. And this repeated segment here, again, there's not much I can say about this. I mean, it's just the same thing, and there is not a significant improvement for Shadow. One mistake I made here, I forgot that the big guy is a leader enemy. So my target just vanished because it died, and Shadow's homing attack just flew into nothingness because the Iblis lizard was already dead. And killing all of these guys makes a 1-up appear. That's nice, so there is actually an incentive to kill dudes. Anyway, this wouldn't be a Shadow level without a really dumb silver medal, however, and also wouldn't be Flamecore, right? So what am I doing here right now? Am I trying to kill all of these dudes? No. I'm trying to slowly make sure that I will reach the middle of this shaft. Now, would it be great if this fire would stop? Yes. Does it matter? No, because it makes no sense, yeah? But directly underneath the fire, directly in the middle of the shaft, there is the final silver medal. And of course, if you fall down here and you don't get it, then you have no recourse but to die and restart. Fortunately, this final part is relatively short, so if you respawn at the checkpoint, it's okay. But it's still not a great silver medal. I don't like it. Less stupid than Sonic's, however, so another point for Shadow's Flamecore. Wow, that's a lot of praise for Flamecore. But again, that was fun. It was okay, and I had to record the S rank quite a few times, but it wasn't really that tedious, because Shadow is so good at erasing enemies if you know how to do it. So, after the cutscene, we're going to see just how efficient we can make it.
I found a Chaos Emerald.
Don't touch it!
What? What's this?
You know, the game just loves undercutting me. Whenever I praise it, then it comes up with something like this, and it's like, yeah, there's just some really bad parts about it. It's not gonna be fun. Anyway, if you think that Iblis is going to be different and cool, then comment so that I can laugh at you. Thanks a lot. Time for the S rank. So, what is different this time? I'm going to actually do something special for the S rank because, shortcut as with Sonic, I did have to do a lot of shortcuts to show off the silver medals, and I didn't want to like go back every time like artificially. So what I'm going to do is actually take the slow route for the S rank, just showing off that it's not necessary in many cases to be like super duper efficient. Like I will not need the ring bonus. Don't know how I didn't get hit here, but I appreciate it. You don't have to be like speedrun fast here. What you should not do is die, but I mean that goes without saying. But even there, I think you should have enough points that if you die like after one of the sections, then it's probably okay. This is a shortcut I mentioned, which I did not show in a normal video. These guys just spawn if you go onto this one platform, so that's really cool, I think, because it allows you to skip the stupid wall running part. In fact, you could skip the first wall running part too. That's great. I like that a lot, and I forgot that the worm has quite a big hitbox, just because I wanted to show off the breakdance move. Doesn't do much, but hey, I mean, sometimes I gotta use it. Maybe at some point I will also remember that the Chaos Spear exists, but don't hedge your bets. What hit me? Anyway, regarding the tactic, as I said, just try to be somewhat efficient, and I think I'm going to show you enough how generally this works, and then don't die, and in the end you should be able to have a nice point surplus if you don't dawdle too much. As you're going to see, there is just going to be a lot of points left over at the end. I do appreciate, by the way, we saw it here a lot better than in the normal run, that the enemies were actually arranged in a half circle, the flyers, so they definitely thought for you to like go from one of the sides and then just string them up with the chaos boost, for which they gave you even 2 containers, which is really nice, and I think it's really well made in that case. Gotta praise where praise is due. Again, probably a level that should have been just for Shadow, or at least with a lot less combat for the other hedgehogs, because then it would have been a lot better in general. But you know, it's not worth crying over spilled milk. I had my say about how awful this was for the other two. So let's just enjoy this nice part while it lasts. See, this would have been really cool if I didn't use the snap, but instead use the normal homing attack. But oh well, anyway, here I'm going to use carefully normal homing attacks until I know that I can reach the lizards, and on we go again. I'm still juiced up, baby, let's go. No idea how I didn't get hit there, but I take it, I'll take it. Most of what getting hit does in this case, as I said, you don't need the ring bonus, is just slow me down, that's all. It doesn't matter, as long as you have 1 ring you're gonna be fine, and if you fall into the lava you lose all of them anyway, so it's not like more rings will give you more buffer or something. So that's an ancient problem of Sonic games in general. The ring system means that individual hits are basically meaningless, unless you die instantly, or if that loses you the rings somehow. Anyway, whoa. This is something that happens surprisingly consistently here. You're going to see one more take of this in the failure reel, because that was actually a failure. You're also going to see, and I'm not going to show you one more take where the exact same thing as this one here happens, so that's all a bit weird, isn't it? By the way, that ring trail here directly deposits you in the enemy. I didn't say that it was perfect. Yeah. And this one, of course, also directly deposited me in the enemy, but I could have maybe timed it by just looking at what the worms were doing. But for the fire giants, there's no chance he's always in the way, just body blocking you, so I don't know, just don't. Be careful. And off we go, directly into the volcano. I wasn't lying, it just didn't get hit again by the falling rocks. So this part here, but without the shortcut this time, as I promised. Is it going to be more interesting? Well, well, we have this wall running segment here, which is, I think, a little bit more interesting than Sonic's. There's a lot of enemies here, as you can see. I don't quite know if they're intended for you to, like, fight all of them. Like, the worms aren't even leader enemies. I think they're just, like, set dressing. You can take them. You can also jump onto this box and take the spring to the right, completely bypassing this combat segment here. But why not do it? It's 3 points, 1000 per big dude, you know, it's fine. Here's where the level naturally leads you, making the other part again a hidden shortcut, more or less. Just delay the homing attack a lot and you won't have a big problem here, hitting the enemy and then this guy at the bottom. And then, don't forget, this is a leader enemy, so you can kill all of them at once. Isn't that nice? And you can even extend the invincibility all the way down here, because, again, repeat it with me, Shadow is just so good at killing enemies that it's not an issue for him to get rid of them quickly enough. So the invincibility actually doing something, man, this really is the best design level we've seen so far. Let's not go that far, but it's pretty good. This is how it could be, I think. Flame Core at his best, its best. Anyway, worst room. I always try to kill these guys at once, and I don't know why it never works. I always try to kill these guys, but it never works because of that stupid floating rock thing that doesn't even do anything. Just fix your lighting engine, please. Anyway, making sure that I don't get hit here. And can I go for the melee? Nope. Just too bad, isn't it? I always think that's a little bit weird that this spawns the flyers, like you can then use them as a bridge, like if you couldn't use them before. This is how to do this safely. I was really getting tired of dying in this room. It works. It's more than I can say about some other things that maybe work, but maybe don't. Now here's the biggest argument for why this level was made for Shadow. Take a quick look to the top left after we've killed this worm. You see this path up there. When I was playing here with Sonic and with Silver, I noticed it and was like, so what is this? Why is it here? Well, it's here because Shadow has a spring that just teleports him up here and he can get all of those rings and get into this ring box, and it's really cool. The grinding is cooler still and it also works for Shadow, but these are the two big paths here. And Sonic just has to walk downstairs, and so does Silver, because level doesn't like them, I guess. What I'm doing here is killing all of the flying enemies together with the worms, ignoring the optional segments that don't do much for me. But again, killing a worm, 300 points, every flyer that dies, another 100 points. So it's free real estate, it's nice, isn't it? So it's like almost 1000 points here just for these guys, why not? And because I'm fast enough in killing them, because Rouge is much better at combat than Knuckles, sadly enough, I can just do the lights at the same time, going upwards, making this entire affair pretty damn efficient, if I say so myself. And there we go already. Very nice, much better than Knuckles. This part here is a little bit dumb because you have to do the homing attack onto the platform, otherwise you will just fall into the lava, making it quite likely that you will get hit by the big dudes. It's not guaranteed, as we saw, but if you don't see them coming, and how would you? Yeah, a little bit annoying. Again, leader enemy, for some reason not giving me the 600 points. I think maybe would have needed another enemy to die at the same time. I don't quite know those rules. They're consistent, but I don't know them because it mostly doesn't matter. And oh yeah, here's the leader. Whoops, forgot about that guy. Costing me a few points, doesn't really matter. It's a bunch of points. There's a lot of enemies to kill. And I could have, of course, made these even more points. But at this point, I'm just like, you know what, let's get some rings still to round this out. Didn't get hit at the end. Will I get hit here? No, I'm not getting hit. And as we know, that fire here is just decoration. It's stupid, but it is. And there we go, ending at a slick 8.5 minutes. Oh my god, it's so long, it's still Flame Core, I forgot. Then completely unnecessary ring bonus and a very nice total score. No 69 pun, I'm so sorry, it's just 63. It's just a nice score. I think it's quite a lot. Anyway, that's done, and it's time for the failure reel I promised. So why am I commenting over it? Because a lot of it is a lot of fun, and I think I should comment on it. This happens all the time here, at least twice during my recordings, just some point where you just snap to and the camera is like, what the hell is going on? This is how this usually goes. Yeah, even not getting hit by the worm, even doing my best to stay on the actual slope part. Sometimes you just go a little bit too far, and then the homing attack fails me for some reason, and this guy kills me. Cool. Yeah, that was a little bit annoying, again, because of the Chaos Snap, cutting the homing attack short, and this is what I was talking about. You can snap up here. Awesome. And let's see if I can do it. Nope. There is a worm that spawns here. Great. Thanks, game. Very nice of you. Anyway, whoop! Oh, well, okay. As I said, it's quite consistent that something like this happens here. It might have something to do with the Chaos Snap, might also not. Again, the homing attack failing me. Maybe I'm trusting the game a little bit too much. Maybe I can save this. Let's see here. Nope. Too bad. But, of course, we're still not done. What about this? First of all, that was quite fun. Whoop! Going directly through the door. Not quite a speedrun tactic, because you know you can't go directly through the door in a speedrun. And the lights just completely screwing me over. This was my first time in this room, and I was like, oh, cool. This was just momentum. Just my mistake. Sometimes you slip off platforms if you don't realize that the hedgehog can be fast. But of course sets me up for another hit, and there it is. Painful. I mean, look at my score. There was quite a lot of enemies killed so far. Yeah. And this is why I was doing the very slow extendo hover at the end, because I didn't want to repeat this again, because this just never works. I don't know if they intended for you to use the Chaos Spear, but yeah. And again, I got screwed over by the homing attack targeting the damn orb. I hate it. Anyway, so another try for this one here at the end of an attempt. How's it gonna go? What do you think? It's the failure reel. Oh well. And only one thing I can do, as I already alluded to. So that was a lot of Flamecore, a lot of fun still. Thank you very much for your attention.